So today's project, I'm going to do a video. I need to replace some blocks off my chewed up target. And I do a little bit different from what you see on other YouTube channels on how to make a target. I do it without glue. I do it simple. And this is the first time I've had to change that in about, I guess, 6 months. Because I used to do it on the vertical. I'll show you that in a minute because I'm going to switch this camera around. Okay, I got some scrap 4x4s. That's what I use, 4x4 pressure treated. I'm gonna cut the blocks out to replace a lot of this. So I gotta replace a lot of this. Some of these are breaking out. And I've done mine a little different from what you'll see on other channels. I don't use glue, just for the fact that I can take this down and screw in, hopefully, the new blocks, replacing them. But yeah, this is I used to do my target on the vertical boards. This used to go all the way up. I had a buddy of mine, I'll mention his first name, John. He made this one and this disc right here. So it's kind of cool depending on what knives I throw. So that's gonna definitely go back on. So I'll be using these planks right here still to mount this huge thing on it, because this whole thing sits on an A-frame. Now this A-frame, as you can see right there, that's over 15 years old. And this wood back here, the first planks, is from 15 years ago too, when I had another YouTube channel and I started throwing knives on how to throw knives. This A-frame is still holding up and I'm gonna keep using it. Isn't that cool? Just little hinges. So I gotta fold this whole thing down, lay it on the ground, because it weighs well over 200 pounds. So you can imagine. So I don't use glue like everybody. I just use some screws. I'll show you how I do it. I'll speed it up. But that's our project. And I'll get started there. This is replacing the chewed up blocks on my target in the playground. Okay, see, I just leaned that down right to the ground. That saved me some, it still ripped my back open. But yeah, you can see the A-frame now, really good. I mean, if it keeps working, I'm gonna keep using it. So I gotta unscrew it. My blocks, it's framed in, so that whole piece will come out. Okay, I set that back up. You can see where that was my old target right there. So we'll get those screws out. That's the back. Just some screws are holding these blocks. I didn't do glue. And you want to make sure your screws are the right length. You don't want them to come out too deep. So if your blade goes in deep, you won't chip your blade. So we'll continue. Okay, I'm removing the screws on the back that are holding the blocks. They're all done at angles. I'm using, looks like 2 1/4 inch deck screws. So I'm gonna take out a couple of blocks and see what size I have to cut these. I don't remember if it was 4 1/2 or 5 inches, but that's what I'm doing right now. Okay, this might not go as I planned, but as you saw in the fast clip, I was able to pry out my first block. You know they swell, y'all know that. So I had them in there pretty jammed, While I got you here, let's see. I cut these at 4 inches. So I might end up take the frame off. I'll see how far I can get with this and make it pretty. So we'll continue. Okay guys, once I got the first 2 blocks out, it worked out pretty good. These are 4 inches. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna cut enough to replace this. If I have enough to go all the way around, I just might have me just a whole brand new board. You know what I mean? I mean, I'm there. But the whole idea was, as they messed up, I would just cut me a block or 2 and put it in there. But this is still a lot better and it's a lot cheaper than what I used to do. This is what I used to do on the vertical. Now we're doing end grain. It sticks better, and yeah, it lasts longer. I used to change this out once a month because I throw them in a lot. When it starts digging in right there, it's time to change. All right, I'll continue. Okay, normally, if I was doing work inside the house, outside the house, or at work, I'd use my speed square for every cut, make sure it's all right, or I use my chop saw and cut it that way. But what I'm going to do is just trace it on down. So to save time, we're not looking for precise beauty because I'll be chopping it up the first throws. All right, I'm going to be cutting it. That's the way to do it. Before I go on, I want to make sure this is going to work by just tracing what I already had cut. Perfect. So also remember, if you have any on the outside that has the tag, take that staple out of there too. Your blade will cut through it, but okay, that's going to work. So I'm going to continue cutting with a chop saw, and then when I get to the point of piecing this together or whatever I come up with, I'll continue filming. Okay, let me show you something. These are good, but this is what you don't want. I don't know if you can see it. I got a crack running right in there. You see? So just one axe throw, that'll be shot. So that's garbage. Same with here, I got a crack all the way down that one. So this one long piece I have, I'll probably dig into it. It's a really nice piece. No cracks or knots, so I'll probably use that. But we'll see how far I go. I think I'm gonna end up doing the whole, thing. So I got my blocks cut, and I'm going to drop this board down, sandwich it in. And I meant to tell you too, you guys know this already, try and keep the knots out of the center at least. If you have some bad knots like over here, keep them on the outside, because this is your target right there in the middle. All right, when I get to that point, I'll start videoing again. Okay, what I end up doing is, because the old wood is of course swollen after all this time, this is a different cut of wood. They're always different. End up putting a 2x4 up here. And I really don't have to. I might trim these 2 off right here. As you can see, I got everything sandwiched right there. And I'll save the few pieces of blocks for repair. I'm ready to tighten it up with screws. And what I do, I use 2-inch screws or 2 1/4 in the back. it'd be far enough away from the front of the block. These are longer. Anyway, I'll use some 2-inch, so that's way back here on the blade, and also do it at an angle. And same on the side. And I don't have to glue it because right now I need to start throwing. This is Sunday afternoon. So let me see what happens here. Okay, that's it so far. I'm not worried about the gaps up here, because if I throw it up here that far, you might as well back off on each side when I throw. Anyway, that seems like it's gonna be okay. I put that awkward bottom edge, instead of cutting it, I'm gonna put that on the bottom, doesn't matter. So I'm gonna hang this up on my board. I gotta drop that down on my easel, and then I'm gonna do a stencil on it. Okay, if all goes well, I'm gonna lower that down. That's not so heavy as this. I'm gonna lower it down onto my target, and then I'm gonna screw it in. And then the hard part's gonna be to bring it back up. So let's see. Plan on laying this down like yay. Okay, and then I'll have to make some adjustments. I'm gonna drop this down. See, it's in its place. If all goes well, it's gonna be pretty close. Yep. Okay, you see what I'm gonna do. Got that propped up, I'm gonna move it up, screw it in. I'll fast one out. I got it propped up there in the back. I got it pretty well lined up. Last time I had to make adjustments after I hung it up. It was like crooked. I couldn't stand crooked. But yeah, I'm just gonna screw it here to my easel. And along the sides, I'll toe nail it down here, and she should be good to go. So let's see what happens. Oh, pressure treated. That's not a cut knife. Now for the hard part. I know this from the hurricanes. This is one of my preps to drop this down, but it's so heavy, I don't need to move that. So don't worry, I'm using leverage. Let's see what happens here. Not so good. Swing it out. Okay, I'm gonna do some adjustments. Like there. Wow, I got it all straight too. There it is. Pretty solid. Same easel, folks. So I'm gonna cut an easel. I'll video that, and then I'm gonna spray paint the circle. Okay, I usually take one of these Splatterburst targets, and I cut out a stencil, the same stencil I've used. I'm gonna see if I can make it work without having to go through this. So I'll fast forward that, get past that. Okay, this is the fun part. I usually just use scrap paint.
Usually use flat, but this is gloss. Doesn't matter. Kind of missed it. I'm not being an artist here. Doesn't have to be perfect. What y'all think? Okay, this is super important. I have a really good buddy of mine that made these for me. He made a SOG knife tool take point. So when I use my SOGs, I try to remember to show that one. Then he has the rule number 9. Never go anywhere without your knife. So I had put little nails down there at the bottom. I don't know if I don't want to waste the video showing you all that, but this is very important to me. See how that works? And this one, I fixed it where I can just swap them out like that. Like so. So, I'll be throwing some knives. If I find any loose ones, I'm going to take a wedgie boards. In fact, I'll put some right there now and hammer them in there so I don't have too big of gaps. But that's it, man. So I'll be doing a video of me throwing, I think, today. Alrighty. Ooh, it's hot. Okay, I hope my video on repairing my knife throwing board didn't bore you too much, and maybe it helped somebody. You don't have to spend a lot of money, and it doesn't have to be real huge or elaborate. It's pretty simple. So that's my repaired board, and I think to break it in, I got about an hour. I think to break it in, I'm gonna throw some SOG knives and break in that board. It looks pretty good. So thanks for watching. Hope it helped. Y'all take care.